Okay, starting with the exterior anatomy of the heart, we have the visceral epicardium, or visceral pericardium, which is also called the epicardium, which is the top layer of the heart. It's the top protective layer of the heart vessel. And then we've got the apex, which is down here, and the base, which is up here where the vessels are. The right and left atria, the right atria is this area here. The left atria is this area here. The blood in the right atrium is deoxygenated, and the blood in the left atrium is oxygenated. The right and left auricles, we have here, this flap here is the right auricle. This flap here is the left auricle. The auricles are used to slightly increase the atrial volume of the blood going into the atria. The right and left ventricles, the right ventricle would be in this area here. The left ventricle would be in this area here. And the intraventricular sulcus, I have the intraventricular sulcus going down here. And the major blood vessels that are found in the sulcus are the great cardiac vein and the anterior interventricular artery. Now the pulmonary trunk here is right here. Here's the pulmonary vein. And then the pulmonary trunk is actually the sort of the bottom part of it here. And the blood that is coming from the pulmonary trunk is going to the lungs and is deoxygenated. And then this whole area here is the aorta. Right here is the aorta. The blood is going from the aorta to the body tissues and it's oxygenated. The ascending aorta is the bottom part of the aorta that is coming up to form the arch. And then the aortic arch is made up of 3 blood vessels. And the first one here, this blood vessel here, is the brachiocephalic artery. This one here is the left common carotid. And this one here is the left subclavian. Now the superior vena cava is here, is the superior vena cava in here. And then right here is the inferior vena cava. And you can see that, superior and inferior vena cava. The coronary sinus is in this area here. It's a little deeper inside. The coronary sinus is made up of veins, and the vessels that the blood in these vessels are going to the right atrium, and the blood that's going into the right atrium is deoxygenated. Okay, so for the internal anatomy, the pectinate in the inner wall of the right atrium would be in here, would be the pectinate. The myocardium is here. This is the myocardium of the left and right ventricle. The myocardium is thicker on the left ventricle because it must create a lot of pressure to pump the blood through the aorta and throughout the body, which is the systemic circulation. So that's why it's much thicker than on the right. It's much thicker on the left. The trabecular carne, I would say, in here, you can see the trabecular carne in here. This would be the trabecular carne inside the ventricles, or like here, the trabecular carne. The bicuspid valve on the here, this whole part would be the bicuspid valve. The tricuspid valve, you can see better over here, would be the tricuspid valve. The chordae tendineae is this right here. And the cusp of the valves would be here. These would be the cusp of the valves. The papillary muscle, which is what the chordinae tendineae is attached to, this would be the papillary muscle that it's attached to. The pulmonary semilunar valve is this flap here, would be the pulmonary semilunar valve. And then the aortic valve is here. The aortic semilunar valve is here.